I was, got to remember back 29, 30 years old when I had my first cell phone. You look now and it's very common for kids in elementary school, I mean, third, fourth, fifth grade, to have smartphones. So, if 10 years ago kids didn't have smartphones until they were their teens, what can that do when kids are picking up smartphones and owning smartphones when they're 7, 8 years old? What's going to happen down the line when they turn 30, 40 and have had these devices that are getting stronger and stronger? What might happen down the road if we keep that up?
If they make it 30, 40 years, I'm that concerned. I really am. The brain cancer is a 10-year lag time. So it takes 10 years for the brain cancers to show up. And there's no doubt. I mean, I have parents who have told me that their teenagers already have brain cancer from sleeping with their cell phones. There's no doubt. As well as what kind of damage. When you're losing every part of your brain, it's almost impossible to project what the outcome's going to be of these poor kids. We already have, so many of them with the autism or ADHD. Because it kills the cells that make GABA, make our gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is our calming neurotransmitter. And so we lose major cells in the brain that make that. And so we've got all these kids with the ADHD and all this, people are out of control. People are, just are losing it because we're GABA deficient. Autism kids are GABA deficient. Alzheimer's GABA deficient. And I really wonder how much road rage. The electric cars and the amount of radiation in our cars today is huge. I've heard from so many people who can't get in a car with GPS and can't get in a car with the Bluetooth activated. They get so sick. They can't drive it. And so we've got more and more and more and more electronics in these cars today. And I had one of my doctors who got our technology because he couldn't even drive the new car. He had to take it back. They give him his money back because he got so sick in it. So he got a meter to go measure the cars before he bought one. And he said the radiation actually goes out 10 feet all the way around. So just driving down the road, we are getting impacted by the radiation from every car around us. And then when you're inside the car, it's called the Faraday cage effect. The radiations bounce around inside. So you use the cell phone inside. It's not only dangerous on the road, but it's dangerous because it's creating more damage to your body using it inside the car. We deliberately kept the cell phone that you could take the battery out. So because there's no more payphones. In fact, we saw a bank of 3 payphones that were working, and my husband says, "Let's get a picture." Vanishing species. So we take the battery out. We leave it in the car if we need it for an emergency, but you can't take the battery out. So many phones today, and it still updates. It's still checking GPS, so it's still transmitting even though you think you're off. And it's bouncing around inside. And then I'm very concerned about our children riding in these cars. I mean, their little brains are being very impacted by this. And we now do have a baby dot that can go into the car seat to help protect them. We're thrilled to have that. We were the first in the world. We told the manufacturers we need this, and they created them for us. We were the first in the world to have them. And so we have got to protect their brains in these cars. When I get people calling me and saying they can't ride in a car anymore, and especially the electric cars, I'm getting young people telling me, dizzy, vertigo, nausea in an electric car, electric or hybrid. And I even had a doctor that's one of our clients said that his kid would throw up in the electric car, but not in the gas car. So, and I know that feeling, because that's how I felt before I started wearing this. That feeling like you're so seasick, you're not going to make it. So, we've deliberately kept our old car without all the bells and whistles. We've put a new engine, new radiator, but we're not being exposed to that, but we're being exposed to every other car on the road.
Right.
So and you know, when I was doing the first edition of my EMF Freedom book, I searched high and low to find if they'd ever done a study putting a human inside an electric car before they brought him out. I couldn't find any study. And it's definitely bad. There's no doubt, because people are still calling me from all over, you know, for consultations, and I've been able to see the pattern that if they're really disabled to the point of not even be able to turn on the electric stove without getting sick, it started with their electric car. When they got their electric car, that was the downhill of their sickness, of their sensitivity.